CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Karen Greer. April is designated National Donate Life Month, but the gift of life shouldn't be limited to just 1 month a year. Over 5,000 people are currently awaiting organ transplants in Georgia. During this half hour of Public Affairs on Peach, you're going to meet those whose lives have been saved through the generous gift of life. And we'll discuss fact and fiction surrounding organ donation. But first, we want to welcome some special people who are joining us. Deb and Charlie Dunphy, who lost their 15-year-old son in a very tragic car accident almost 3 years ago. You both made the difficult decision to donate your son Joe's organs. I know this is a tough subject to discuss, but you know how many lives can be saved. Talk a little bit about how your family came to that decision.
I'm a nurse practitioner, so obviously I know a tremendous amount about organ donation. As a family, we obviously hadn't talked with our children about it, Joe being 15. But at the time that everything happened and we were faced with that decision, we thought back to a time.
Well, I mean, Joe was always a very generous kid.
Yes.
It goes back to a time when he was 7 years old that he was playing baseball with his first leather glove and was playing at a park and gave that glove to another kid because he had a new glove. And, he told Deb, when he went home that he wanted to give that glove to him permanently.
And as a mom, that was like his very first leather glove. It was just so precious of an item, and that's what I kept saying. It's your first leather glove. I mean, that's so special to Mom and so special to you. And his response was, I don't need it anymore, though. Oh. And he doesn't have a glove. So at the time that everything happened with Joe being a child, those are the stories, and there's probably, without exaggeration, 15 other stories like that related to Joe that answered the question.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie, there were 5 of Joe's organs that actually went on to save the lives of others.
Right.
That's tremendous.
It is. It's a nice thing. It's it's what Joe would have wanted, though. He just like with the glove, he didn't need it anymore.
And he was
always
about helping younger kids as well. And we were just at 2 in the morning when we were awoken and told that his heart was a match to a child in North Carolina that was a couple years younger than him.
Yeah, it worked well, and he was at the right age for organ donation, a perfect age, where his organs were large enough to be used in adults, but also, I guess, young enough to be used in younger people as well.
Yes.
So it worked out well.
It's a situation. Do you talk to others about that gift of life? Because while you lost your son, you're helping so many others.
Right. And we do.
We do, probably not enough.
I volunteered for LifeLink at some events, but one-on-one we do. And also in the classroom. I'm faculty at University of North Georgia, and in the classroom, when it's appropriate, about disease and complications and things, I make a point that as nurse practitioners, we do need to bring that up with our patients.
I know you'd love to know where his organs have gone, but it's still very early. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure a tough process. Do you want to meet the people who received his organs?
Yes, we've actually, as a family, have written twice to each of the recipients, and we did receive a letter back from the mother of one of the adult recipients that is legally blind, and it was just an amazing, touching letter about how he is back in church and back able to do the things that he wasn't able to do previously. And our son's name was Joe, and his name was Joe.
Wow. Well, you have definitely kept his whole spirit alive. He was an avid golfer, I understand. Mm-hmm. So you wanted to do something to encourage people, to help out, but also keep him alive in your hearts. Talk about that.
Well, he was a member at Chastity Golf Club, played 10 hours a day, You know, the hardest thing was dragging him out of there. You know, in the evenings, you know, you'd show up to pick him up, and he'd be hanging out there still. You know, as long as there was a street light there, he was good. But we decided that, you know, we wanted to do a scholarship for golfers that wanted to continue on, go to college, and also emulated Joe's character. It's more of a character award. It's not the best golfer on the team, and it's not the kid that has the 4.5 GPA necessarily. You know, it's all about the character that emulates Joe.
And these are some of the pictures of some of the scholarships you've given.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. You know, and this year would be Joe's senior year. So it's a big year for the scholarship.
Yes.
And we have our interviews coming up next week. And then last year's tournament, you know, we had our tournament. We have a tournament every year.
It's fundraising.
Right, and it's been fantastic. You know, the support we get, community, but especially from the Chestatee community.
How much have you been able to give so far?
So far, we've given $15,250,
Wow.
and we're expecting this year to do, in this 1 year alone, do more than that this year.
Because of the community support and love for Joe.
Yeah.
Well, and he was such an athlete, not just golf, but he did pretty much every other sport I saw in the picture. So
He was very dedicated. He
Well,
was dedicated to the sports.
Mom and Dad, I know he's so very proud of you for keeping his spirit alive. If you at home would like to participate in the 4th annual Joe Dunphy Memorial Golf Tournament at Chestatee Golf Club in Dawsonville, or if you know of a deserving student for the actual scholarship that they're going to be gearing up to hand out, you can find all the information at joedumphygolf.org. There are plenty of spots open for players, hole sponsors, even some raffle prizes. This is an amazing family, and I know you want to do what you can to help out others in the community. It's going to be held Saturday, right after Labor Day this year. How about that? When we come back, you'll meet another set of parents who turn the loss of their son into giving back to those in need of organ donations. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.